This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. So I hope you are all hearing me. So good morning and welcome to this information session on the call for proposal in the framework of the Euro-MED program. Well, we are glad that you're here because it's a new period that is opening, and this is the first call we are launching. So let me introduce myself. I am Pascal Kovolagai, and I am project officer at the Joint Secretariat of the Euro-MED program, and I will be your moderator this morning. First, some technical requirements. You please have to turn off your cameras and microphones so the Zoom software will work properly and we'll be able to hear clearly all the very interesting presentations. Translation also is available, and you can change the language channel by clicking on the button that is at the bottom of your screen with the icon, the planet icon. Yes, the presentation, as you saw, will be registered and published in the language spoken. And since there are many of you, for any question, we will not use the chat, but we will use slido.com. I will give you later on the code to connect and enter your questions. And they will be moderated, and we will try to answer most of them within the time we have this morning. And if we run out of time, we will publish the remaining answers on our brand new site. This said, I will give the floor to our coordinator, Curzio Cervelli, for a few words of introduction. Please, Curzio. Okay, Curzio is coming.
Good morning everyone. I'm sorry, but I have some troubles with my PC, so I've changed my place. So good morning to all of you. It's a real pleasure to meet you again for launching a new call in the new programming period 21-27. We met last time in Athens 2 years and a half, speaking about the possibility to build a new program based on governance and mainstream. And now we are all together today to introduce this priority. This is a very strategic priority for us and for you. Keywords for the future period will be cooperation, coordination, and governance, mainstream, capitalization. So this is really the core of our future activities, not forgetting, of course, the thematic projects. Just for your information, a second call will be open in June, if everything going well. So today, I remind you that we are all together to speak about ISO 1. I underline that because I am a little bit scared by the number of participants, because I didn't expect that. We are more than 200 people. So I just introduced in French afterwards some few words on the contents of this call. But for the moment, a very warm welcome also to the new colleagues coming from Bulgaria and North Macedonia. So also on behalf of the managing authority, she was committed, Talia Richard was committed elsewhere, so it was impossible for her to be here with us today. But now, in order to start as soon as possible with the working day, I switch a little bit for some few words in French in order to underline, to just highlight some thinking from my side about this specific call. So please use the button for translation on the bottom on the right, if you need it. And I start with the French. J'étais en train de dire, bonjour à tout le monde d'abord, excusez-moi. J'étais en train de dire donc que les mots gouvernance, mainstream, capitalisation, transfer seront les mots-clés de cet appel. Et tout ça, vous allez les retrouver sans doute dans la stratégie pour l'optimisation des résultats que nous avons déjà mis à votre disposition. Mais ce que je voulais vraiment souligner avant de passer la parole à mes collègues pour entrer dans les vifs du sujet, c'est que cet appel va être très compétitif. Vous savez, et vous aurez déjà lu qu'il y aura 8 projets qui seront retenus sur cet appel. En gros, avec un nombre maximum de partenaires qui sera autour d'une cinquantaine. Voilà, donc vous êtes plus de 200, 250, 240 actuellement. Donc, il faut vraiment que vous soyez conscient des difficultés de cet appel et de son sens et de ses objectifs pour pouvoir choisir ce qui sera le mieux pour vous. Évidemment, c'est un appel bottom-up. Il est ouvert à tout le monde, donc il n'y a pas des critères d'exclusion sur les principes. Mais ce que l'on veut construire à travers cet appel, c'est un process de gouvernance et coopération qui implique, nécessite des compétences, des connaissances, de l'expérience qui ne sont pas forcément du degré de tout le monde. Voilà, donc la sélection va être rude, et je me permets d'insister ça, ce n'est pas pour vous décourager, mais simplement pour que vous lisiez attentivement les documents, parce que c'est là la base pour le départ de la réponse de votre candidature à cet appel. Il faut vraiment bien comprendre l'esprit de cet appel, bien comprendre ce que nous voulons construire avec vous, et si vous estimez que vous répondez à ces critères, bien entendu, ce sera avec grand plaisir que nous accepterons vos candidatures. Mais c'est toujours déplaisant d'obliger des personnes à travailler sous la base des malentendus. Donc, j'insiste, ce n'est pas pour vous décourager, mais simplement pour que vous ayez conscience que cet appel, il est un peu spécial. C'est un appel qui va sélectionner 8 projets qui vont durer 7 ans. Et sous la base de ça, nous allons vraiment bâtir, construire, finaliser tous les processus de gouvernance du nouveau programme Euro-MED. Donc, vous comprenez que c'est un engagement à la fois pour les candidats, pour les partenaires des projets, mais aussi pour les autorités du programme, donc pour les 14 États qui en font partie, pour l'autorité de gestion et pour le secrétariat, d'une grande importance. Donc, je tenais vraiment à que ces quelques mots puissent vous permettre de comprendre au mieux les contextes de ce que nous sommes en train de vous proposer, que vous ne négligez pas, absolument pas, les documents déjà produits, que ce soit les programmes, les futurs programmes Euro-MED, qui sera soumis à la Commission européenne avant la fin du mois de février, que ce soit la stratégie d'optimisation des résultats. Voilà. Donc, ce sont des documents de base, le cahier des charges, bien entendu. Ce sont des documents de base qui devront vous permettre de comprendre si vous souhaitez contribuer à cet effort. Et on ne peut pas commencer la rédaction d'une candidature sans avoir cela bien en tête. Voilà. Donc, je m'arrête là. Je pense que c'était l'essentiel de ma part. Je vous remercie pour votre écoute et je passe la parole à mes collègues. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Thank you, Claudio. Now to explain the course of the morning, we'll give you the detailed agenda. So, if I can check. Okay, so the first part will be on the strategic framework of the program. Then we will go deeper in the specificities of the call. We will have a question and answer time. And then we'll deserve coffee break. And the third part will be on the tools that are available to help you submit an application. And again, question and answer time. As promised, you will find on this slide the code to post all your questions on slido.com. So please join the site slido.com, and we will put it as well in the chat so you have time to note it. But the code is displayed here. It is #call1. So if you have any question, please feel free. Now for the chapter 1, on the general framework, Nicolas Garnier, who is project officer at the JS, will present the first 2 points on the missions and objectives, as well as the project typologies. So please, Nicolas, if you want.
Thank you, Pascal. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully everybody can hear me well. And I have the very challenging task of introducing the new program to you in just a few minutes. So bear with me, and I'll try and be as concise and detailed as possible, whilst just presenting the overall framework for now, and then my colleagues will present the specificities of the call in the next presentations. So the program brings together partners from 69 regions from 14 countries from the northern shore of the Mediterranean. So as Claudio said, we are glad to welcome newcomers to the program in Bulgaria and North Macedonia, and also 3 Spanish regions. And otherwise, they are the same countries and regions as in the previous program. We will work with a budget of about 294 million euros, which is allocated to the program for the 2021-2027 period. So all participating countries are member states, candidates or potential candidates to the European Union, and they all are eligible to a co-financing up to 80% of the project budget. For this program, collaborating with collaborating with the other shores of the Mediterranean is also crucial to fulfill this ambition. So the participation of partners from the southern and eastern parts of the Mediterranean Sea is not only desired, but also actually needed. And partners from organizations from these regions can be involved in our projects as associated partners, which means that part of their activities can be funded through a partner receiving grants directly from the program. Okay. So as we said, our ambition is to support the transition towards a climate neutral and a resilient society. And the Mediterranean has many resources to protect from global changes. And through their actions, partners will fight against these impacts on the resources of all countries bordering the Mediterranean basin. And this will be achieved while ensuring a sustainable growth and the well-being of all Mediterranean citizens. So that's really the scope of our action here. And this will be achieved thanks to cooperation among different stakeholders on one side. So many stakeholders in the Mediterranean we all share the same challenges. And in order to create a concrete impact on our territories, we will have to cooperate and coordinate our efforts. So as to have durable means for cooperation and a structured dialogue among all of these partner organizations. And so this will be also achieved thanks to the alignment with European and Mediterranean objectives. So the Interreg Euro-MED Programme has a focus on environment and climate. So obviously it is linked with all the thematic strategies at European level, and most importantly, the European Green Deal, as well as the Sustainable Development Goals from the United Nations and the Territorial Agenda for 2030. Okay, so in this new programming period, we are structuring the action in a slightly different way, but which will make sense and will enable us to achieve the objectives and the overall ambition of the program. So our ambition is to contribute to the transition towards a climate neutral and resilient society, as I said, and just saying it like that with these words, you understand that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very bold and very challenging. So to ensure that concrete and manageable solutions come out at the end, the program identified 4 thematic missions that all could together contribute to this overall ambition. And each of our projects funded by the Euro-MED program will have to fit within one of these missions. So each mission basically operates as a portfolio of actions, and they address together the same thematic issue. And this way they enhance the full potential of their results. So in other words, the missions push the results of single projects beyond their initial ambitions and partnership to address issues of a greater importance. So these are the 4 missions, and now let's have a look in detail at each of them to see what they consist of. So we have a mission called Strengthening an Innovative Sustainable Economy. So improving innovation capacities of quadruple helix stakeholders is going to be very necessary to strengthen and consolidate the knowledge society in the Mediterranean territories. And it will also help us be better prepared to face future possible economic crisis. So the projects under this mission will have a scope, among others, to reinforce the competitiveness of SMEs, to increase the capacities of public and private stakeholders, to implement and coordinate regional innovation strategies, and this way accelerate the transition towards a circular and sustainable economy and society. So here you have some examples of what projects under this mission could tackle. Next, we have a mission called Protecting, Restoring, and Valorizing the Natural Environment and Heritage. So this is all about climate change, and climate change will have a high environmental impact in Europe, and especially along the Mediterranean basin because of its fragile natural ecosystems. So the natural environment and heritage contribute to, as you know, to a healthier and more resilient society. The preservation of ecosystems allows to mitigate natural disasters, diseases, boost resilience and regulate climate, and in this way reduce risks that are brought to human societies. So the projects under this mission will promote climate change, mitigation and adaptation measures, and encourage sustainable management of natural resources and restoration of degraded ecosystems at all levels, on land and at sea. Also the connectivity of natural ecosystems at transnational level, and the valorization of economic and social value of biodiversity. Okay. Next, we have promoting green living areas. So sustainable development, management of green living areas, integrated vision for the territory's energy transition. So these are all crucial aspects to the quality of life of the Mediterranean people. And projects will tackle this challenge through the development of greener living areas, and will work to maximize their impact on the Mediterranean.
Ah, esa es tu Adela cuando venga a Estados Unidos.
All
Eso sí es
good.
grande, la va a tener aquí en la falda.
All right.
Oye, ¿y por qué no? Ah, el anfitrión silenciado.
Very good. Okay, so they will work to minimize their impact on the Mediterranean and the global climate system. So we are all on the path to become truly carbon neutral. So this is the way to achieve it with this mission. And examples of projects in this mission will be linked to, especially acting on the negative impacts of cities on the territories, on the environment and the economy, improving the resilience of the territories in terms of planning, financing of energy, creating capacities for better energy consumption and efficiency, mobility, and also importantly reinforcing the involvement of citizens and all stakeholders in general in the green transition, from public, from private, from regulatory framework, all of these aspects. And finally, last but not least, tourism, and specifically enhancing sustainable tourism. So as we know, it's a key sector in our territories, both in terms of protection and valorization of the natural cultural resources, and also supporting its recovery. So the mission will address the development of sustainable tourism as a transversal issue. So all projects in connection with tourism will belong to this mission. And these can include the fostering of tourism integrated into circular economy, considering sustainable ecosystem services, innovation technologies, and promoting the preservation of natural resources and cultural heritage dedicated to the tourism sector. Okay. Okay, we can move on. We seem to be stuck, but no, that's okay. Okay. So basically the missions, the missions cover the specific objectives of the programs. Yes, here we are. So all projects contribute to one of these missions, and the missions are achieved through specific objectives that are selected by the program. So the regulatory framework defines priorities and specific objectives that have to be selected by all programs, all Interreg programs. And our Interreg Euro-MED program has selected 2 thematic priorities, which are Smarter Mediterranean and Greener Mediterranean, and the governance priority. And these 3 priorities are essential to reach our ambition of the transition towards climate neutral and resilient society. So it works like this. Basically, all projects will belong to, all thematic projects will basically belong to Smarter or Greener Mediterranean. And these are tackled by the 4 missions. And alongside these 2 thematic priorities, you will have the Mediterranean governance, which forms the backbone for strengthening and amplifying the results of the thematic projects in cooperation, coordination with all the other programs that have picked this specific objective and priority, and the other initiatives and strategies in the area. So this is why for this call, you will need to select the specific objective corresponding to a better cooperation governance. Now, let's have a look at, I don't know how we're doing on time. Hopefully I'm taking too much time, but I think it's important to spend time on this, because this is the foundation for not only for the program, but also for this first call, which, as we said, will go, these projects will go along the whole programming period. So now let's have a look at the different types of projects that the program will support. So we will have 2 types of projects, as I hinted at just before. So thematic projects on one hand, and governance projects. And these governance projects are the ones concerned by this call only. But first, let's have a look at the thematic projects, as it's also important for you to understand what these are. So the thematic projects will implement actions to fulfill a specific objectives of smarter or greener Mediterranean, and they will have as categories either study, testing, transferring, or strategic territorial projects, which combine all of the other three elements, but specifically dedicated to one particular type of territory. Okay, and the thematic projects, as we said, contribute to the missions. So each project implementing actions contributing to one of the missions, tackling challenges of a greater importance, all part of the action targeted by the mission, but individually with their own objective and results. Now, and what's you will all be very interested to hear is about the governance projects. So the governance projects implement actions to fulfill the Mediterranean governance priority and specific objective of a better cooperation governance. They are divided into two categories: the thematic community projects and institutional dialogue projects. So first, let's have a look at the thematic community projects. So their role is to facilitate the exchanges and the development of synergies between projects. So the thematic projects that belong to their respective mission. They develop, on one hand, technical knowledge embedding the results of the projects, and also they develop strategies to support the effective transfer of the results to other territories and stakeholders. So as we said, there will be one thematic community project for each of the 4 missions and for the whole duration of the program. Now, let's have a look at the institutional dialogue projects. So the institutional dialogue projects, they will come in support of the effective coordination between all the relevant stakeholders in the Mediterranean, be it at regional, national, European level, through European authorities and networks, and between existing initiatives and strategies. And these projects will optimize the conditions for the transfer and the mainstreaming of the project results into practices, into public policies, in order to improve the governance at transnational level. So within the program area and also beyond the program area. And as we said, there will be one institutional dialogue project for each of the 4 missions and for the whole duration of the program as well. So to sum up, as you've understood, the purpose, the actions, and the skills of both types of governance projects, they complement each other and they will work each on their own mission. So there will be one thematic community project and one institutional dialogue project within each missions, and they both aim at enhancing and increasing the impact of the project results, transferring them into practices, mainstreaming them into public policies. So in other words, while you have the thematic community projects providing the technical knowledge and working closer with the territories within the Euro-MED program area, the institutional dialogue projects will provide the political support, and they will seek to impact governance processes within and beyond the program area. So that's it from my side, and all the best to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicolas. And now Lidwin Lafontaine, who is also a project officer at the JS, is going to explain the result amplification strategy that the program designed for this new period. So please, Lidwin.
Okay, well, good morning.
Okay.
Yes. So the result amplification strategy is an evolvement of the more commonly set up capitalization plan or strategy based on the program experience drawn from the 2 previous programming periods. So we therefore need to go back in time to understand its full meaning and purpose, and to ensure a sound implementation by all parties involved, as it must be implemented with a common belief, vision, and set of mind. So in 2007, the program co-financed regular standard projects, performing studies, tests, organizing dissemination activities. They all produced different self-standing outputs, focused on particular specific objectives. In addition, The program required all projects to add a capitalization activity that would be most of the time take place at the end of the projects themselves, and was most of the time reduced to being broad dissemination activity. For this programming period, the program also hired external experts towards the end of the period to analyze outputs and results and form clusters. Unfortunately, most projects had already ended. Outputs and results were scattered and not much combinable or even reusable, as they were not delivered in an adapted way. So the clustering approach was not very productive in this context. The program is therefore the idea to conduct an experiment using a very last and short call on projects with the same aim of producing studies on maritime issues. All the projects had to perform studies, and all the communication and capitalization activities were planned and managed by a transversal common capitalization project. So planning, what came out of this is that planning the capitalization activities ahead, grouping the projects around one goal, and mutualizing the means for dissemination and capitalization turned out to be much more effective. Therefore, this first period of mandatory capitalization work package was definitely over, and the program moved to another different scheme, embedding this time the capitalization process in the design of the types of projects themselves and their interrelations. So let's put aside 2007, 2013, and let's move to 2014, strengthened by this last call experience. So in 2014, the program, inspired by the study projects of the previous period and eager to raise the quality of the outputs and results, decided to divide the standard projects into models, enabling specific partnership to focus on a particular set of activities that suits their skills best. Therefore, standard projects became modular study, test, transfer projects. Some projects implemented more than one model, some implemented the three models, and they were called integrated projects. All these projects were the modular thematic projects. Following the ComCap project experiment, the program designed horizontal projects that aimed first at animating a community of projects around a selected objective and create the conditions to enable productive exchanges between projects. They also organized the collective proper dissemination of results, and then they aimed at supporting the projects in transferring and mainstreaming their results that were driven to be produced in a targeted, reusable, and combined way. The program had also in mind to increase the program's impact, and therefore choose to engage efforts in projects tackling the governance issues in the Mediterranean. They set up a platform project named Euro-MED that engaged in exchanges with major Mediterranean stakeholders and defined terms of reference for strategic projects around three issues: coastal and maritime tourism, maritime surveillance, and innovation. All governance projects conceived with an evidence-based approach were sought concrete material from the thematic projects, And in order to bridge the communities of thematic projects with the governance projects, the GS set up a permanent coordination group of representatives to favor the coordination and cooperation among projects. As you can see, the icons of the 8 communities formed around the specific objectives of the program and the 3 highlighted thematic issues for governance projects illustrate some mismatch, and the timelines on the bottom show some difference in time that question the design of the program strategy to link the capitalization of results and the governance ambition of the program. Therefore, the program decided to move from this integrated activity to this two loosely linked better governance to another level, and designed a new strategy for the program that would this time embed the capitalization and the governance approaches of the program in a more intimate and hopefully effective way. So this leads us to putting aside the 2014 and 20 approach and move to the current result amplification strategy. All the reflection around the capitalization process led to one statement. We need to embed all parties in the loop and see capitalization as a common shared state of mind. Still, from former experience, the program will pursue, as we just discussed, the different types of projects with thematic projects, supporting study, testing, and transferring projects, as well as strategic territorial projects based on the former modular projects from 2014 and 2020. So outputs and results will have to be tangible, reusable, and combinable. This time, the projects won't be grouped by specific objectives, but by the missions of greater importance. So communities of projects aiming towards the same mission will be materialized by thematic community projects that will work in collaboration with institutional dialogue projects as paired projects. Thematic community projects and institutional dialogue projects, inspired by the former governance projects, will this time work on the same mission in a complementary way. In addition, Mediterranean stakeholders will be even more closely embedded in the governance projects by structuralizing activities. All activities will be supported by the GS, especially the coordination between the projects, but also it will be also supported by all the parties directly involved in the program, such as the monitoring committee, the managing authority, and the national contact points, according to their role in the program. This was the starting point to evolve from capitalization to amplification. Effective capitalization must be a collective state of mind that needs to serve higher purposes, that is the improvement of the governance based on a sound evidence that will make a real difference. So to recap, we passed from a capitalization plan to a capitalization plan and governance approach that was embedded in different project types, to a result amplification strategy that aims to embed all parties in capitalization process that aim at improving the governance for greater impact and benefit of all. But what is this necessary set of minds and the concrete content of that strategy? First, for the state of mind, it's first a belief. It's about believing in what you do. When you believe in what you do, you want to share it. And you want to share it because it's meaningful, useful, and of quality. But you also want to give it to others because it's usable and transferable. And you also want to inspire others and exchange and agree upon. All this is in a hope to make a difference. This is, for us, the starting point that we all have to share if you want to succeed with this strategy. This belief is also a vision for the program that leads to the new definition of the capitalization that considers that this is a set of concomitant processes allowing to consolidate the knowledge, share, exploit, and reuse knowledge, to have knowledge integrated by other actors and institutions, with a view of optimizing the conditions for improving territorial and policy governance, and thus increasing the program's contribution, which means impact, to a climate neutral and resilient society in the Mediterranean, through three most important points. The first is the continuous feeding of a multilateral dialogue between actors, strategies, initiatives, and programs in the Mediterranean that share the same challenge, including those covering of eastern and southern shores of the Mediterranean. This is also through the adaptation of joint solutions to coordinate the approaches and policies of different decision makers at local, regional, national, transnational, and European levels. And at last, it's also the integration of transnational results in policymaking. And all this, as we really want in the program, is to make a difference. Linking this belief, this vision we link it to 3 objectives that will be the 3 objectives of the results amplification strategy. So it revolves around these 3 following ones. The first one is facilitating the exploitation, sharing and reuse of knowledge, experience, and project results by other Euro-MED projects and other programs, because it goes in both ways, win-win situation, and foster the production of relevant work. The second one is to encourage the transfer of practices and results to other actors and territories, and their integration in the development of local, regional, national, and European policies and strategies. And the third objective is to increase the coordination between actors on the Mediterranean, multi-level, transnational, and on the basis of this acquired knowledge, experience, and results. To achieve these objectives, we need the participation of all parties. Therefore, we identified and defined the roles and relationships between the stakeholders within the program and crossed it with the 3 general objectives to define the complementary forces at stake and how to use them into complementary activities. First, the program authorities support the joint secretariat actions, such as the drafting of the terms of reference that they validate. The terms of reference frame actions for all the projects under the thematic issues and governance issues. The modular projects or the thematic projects will mainly produce, reuse, and integrate and consolidate the knowledge to feed into the governance projects. Thematic community projects will optimize the conditions for sharing knowledge and valorizing results, and will favor transferring and mainstreaming processes. Institutional dialogue projects will amplify the dialogue with national and supranational authorities to integrate results and improve coordination among actors within and beyond the MED area. All projects will receive the support of the national contact points and the joint secretariat. From this, we suggested some activities, some suited activities for all parties involved, and they are contained in the strategies. These are tables of activities contained in the strategy. I'll give you an example, short example, so you understand how it works and how the strategy has to be read. So you have all the different stakeholders that are involved directly in the program or within the program and beyond. So if we want to reuse, let's see, the monitoring committee will validate the terms of reference proposed by the managing authority and the joint secretariat. They will have a specific attention to reuse of results, for which the MED actors will be consulted. We will have to take into account the relevant work to insert in the project proposals. The joint secretariat will make available the material and results that the projects will have to take into account, and they will have also to make sure that the format enables proper reuse, while the thematic community projects will foster synergies between ongoing projects. Let's take another example of transferring. The national contact points will identify potential receivers along with the institutional projects, dialogue projects, that will analyze the regional and national set of play, while the thematic community projects will provide technical knowledge to transferring results produced by thematic projects in an adaptable and transfer way. At last, to support the better coordination, the last example, monitoring committee and managing authority will foster the conditions as well as the national contact points to identify opportunities and engage in analyzing activities via also the joint secretariat and the institutional dialogue projects. Once again, in this process, thematic community projects and thematic projects will support the evidence-based approach. The strategy thus includes a detailed number of activities for each entity according to their position and role in the program. So as you can understand, some actors are more involved in the implementation of this strategy. The governance projects are at the very heart and are the arm sword of the program, which led us to the call for the governance projects that we are giving you the information about today. So I will just keep going with the specificities of this call as it goes, in direct link with the strategy. So as you can imagine, this first call is one of the first and the crucial steps of the implementation of the amplification strategy of the program to impact sustainably the Mediterranean. We are then calling for two types of governance projects under the Mediterranean governance priority, while the smarter and greener MED priority, as we've said before, will be tackled in the thematic dimension by future calls. Nonetheless, each governance project will be related to one of the missions, and thematic community projects and one institutional project will be paired around one mission. According to each type of project, some type of general actions have been distributed among the thematic community projects and institutional dialogue projects. So for thematic community projects, main actions will be related to the reuse of results, synergies, and coordination between thematic projects. They will also aim at transferring mainstreaming strategies into practices of public and private actors, providing the technical support. For the institutional dialogue projects, transfer mainstreaming strategies, engaging authorities. The second one will be transfer mainstreaming strategies, engaging with European authorities, networks, ETC managing authorities, initiatives and strategies. And the third types of actions would be the long-lasting, establishing long-lasting conditions for a permanent institutional and social dialogue. These types of actions are directly related to the different objectives of the results amplification strategy. Objective 1, 2, and 3, as you can see here. So this is very important for you to understand the results amplification strategy, to really be in line with what we expect and how we expect to do it, and really share with us our belief and our vision in order for it to work. So you find in the strategy these different types of activities for each objective and distributed among thematic community projects and institutional dialogue projects. And they will have to be complementary, organized in a complementary way, and there will be a constant and permanent dialogue between the different types of projects related to one mission. So they will be complementary, coordinated, and they will have to build also on experience, because we don't come from scratch. As you saw in the results amplification strategy, we have two previous programming periods to build on and experience to draw from. About the partners' skills, regarding the specific actions, of course, of each type of projects, we are seeking for different types of projects. I'm going to say type of projects, but I would say skilled partners. So for being involved in the thematic community projects, we expect the partners to have a high capacity to stimulate communities of projects related to the missions of the program, meaning that you have to have knowledge also around that revolves around the missions. You have to have analysis skills in selected mission and linked team. You need to relate easily with all stakeholders related to the selected mission. And also we expect the partners to have high communication and capacity building skills to reuse, merging, bridging, integration, adaptation, and transfer of results. Most particularly, we think that research centers, this is just indicative, research centers, specialized agencies, universities, and networks of political actors and actors of civil society are well suited. But really in this call, what we need, because it's a 7-year project, we really need to have persons in capacity to implement the actions. So no matter what is the body or the structure of the partner, demonstrating all these capacities will be of most importance, rather than just the nature of the structure itself. For institutional dialogue projects, so what is needed is, of course, a solid institutional experience linked to the selected mission. Also, we need some partners in capacity to identify and mobilize key external players, support uptake and setting up of transformative policies to amplify the outreach of the results. Then we also need these partners to be able to relate easily to academia and civil society organization. In this case, we think, as indicative, that regional and national networks of decision makers, civil society representatives are particularly suited. But it's not, there's no exclusion. And I'm going to come next to the list of potential partners that we thought of, but nothing is exclusive. We really need the competencies rather than the structure themselves. And we need in the proposals to have demonstrations that these capacities are real and are sound. So here, this is the list of potential or list of partners we thought about. I'll let you take a look at them. These different bodies that we have identified, which are, regular bodies participating in ETC projects, we have attempted, but really as indicatively, to sort them by different projects with what we thought would be mostly the most suited partners, taking into account experience that we've had with different bodies over time, but once again, insisting on the skills and the competencies that will have to be demonstrated rather than just having a structure itself in one or the other project. What's most important for us, those we know that it's a call with restricted number of projects. So what we mean to do too is attract your attention to the status of the partners. We can have two types of projects. We have mentioned them before: co-funded partners and associated partners. So the partners that will become funded will be under certain conditions. It will be explained later on. But given the ambition of the program to extend its impact beyond its geographical area, in addition, we need associated partners from outside the program area, southern and eastern Mediterranean shore, notably as well as other Balkan countries. We need partners that have a particular interest in the Mediterranean territories that will be linked to the 4 missions of the program. And they are very much of great value, and their participation at current call is highly recommended and encouraged and so on. So they really represent a bridge between the Euro-MED program and others, and they will really facilitate the inter-program exchanges and result amplification, shared actions across the whole Mediterranean area. So I hope that I'm clear enough that we need associated partners. Just to be more, what could be these different partners? So co-funded partners, it's any of the listed partners of the previous slide. What they do, they receive funds, and they are of a limited number because the funds are not unlimited, and they implement activities and they report on the activities. On the other side, associated partners. They can be any of the listed partners from the previous list. They don't receive, unfortunately, any funds, but they pair to active partners, and they can cover travel and accommodation expenses. There are potentially unlimited numbers of associated partners, but they are kept, regularly involved in the different activities. And so they take part of the activities according to potential added value. So they can have an advisory role. So they are experts in the theme that is tackled. They can be also end users, takers, final beneficiaries. They can use outputs delivered. They can be also observers or supporters. So definitely, we need associated partners to take part in this program, as this is at the heart of what we want to do to make an impact and to improve the governance of the Mediterranean. And we can't do it just by ourselves with just co-funded partners. So I'm going to this is going to lead us to talking about the implementation time, the budget, and other features of the call. I will have Divine take over and present to you these different features.
Yes, just a few words to introduce Ludivine, who is taking the floor now. She is one of our finance officer, and she will go deeper in the technical data sheet of the terms of references. So please, Ludivine.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah.
No, la caméra, pas le micro.
Okay. Okay. So good morning to all. Thank you, Ludwin, and thank you, Nicola, for your intervention and questions. So we have colleagues in charge of translation. So I will switch in French, and I invite you to use the planet icon to use the other sound channel. Okay. Donc tout ce que mes collègues vous ont présenté doit vous servir à comprendre la dimension de l'appel tel qu'il se situe dans le programme 21-27 et plus globalement dans ce que sont le nouveau schéma de politique européenne pour la période 21-27. Donc on va essayer de voir un petit peu concrètement comment mettre en forme tout cela à travers la préparation de vos propositions. Donc, comme vous le savez, vos projets, les projets à présenter vont durer 80 mois. Donc, 80 mois du 1er novembre 2022 au maximum 30 juin 2029. Néanmoins, soyez rassurés, les projets tels que vous devez les soumettre ne doivent pas être détaillés sur l'ensemble des points qui ont été présentés par mes collègues, hormis pour les 2 premières années. En effet, c'est avant tout la méthodologie et les partenaires qui vont devoir être très clairement présentés. Les informations attendues pour les 2 premières années concernent la mise en œuvre, l'estimation des activités et ensuite, pour les activités pour les 5 années suivantes devront être présentées de manière plus globale. Vous avez une application form de courtoisie qui est mise à votre disposition sur la page de l'appel et qui reprend ces différents aspects en détail. Et par ailleurs, une réunion technique sera organisée mi-mars afin de revenir sur l'élaboration détaillée du work plan. Ensuite, donc, compte tenu de l'ambition des projets de gouvernance et de leur dimension, un suivi spécifique du secrétariat est prévu, puisque des ajustements seront nécessaires en fonction de l'évolution du programme, de la sélection des différents projets thématiques qui arriveront après les projets de gouvernance et de leur mise en œuvre. Donc, dans ce cadre, après 1 an de mise en œuvre du projet, un examen des capacités organisationnelles du projet va être réalisé en coopération avec le secrétariat. Ensuite, tous les 2 ans, il y aura une révision de l'évolution du projet, de la participation des partenaires. On vérifiera le taux de consommation de chacun des partenaires et une mise à jour du plan de travail sur 24 mois sera réalisée. À ce moment-là, il y aura des possibilités d'ajustement, de modification, de transfert et d'intégration éventuelle de nouveaux partenaires si cela devait être nécessaire. Donc, tous ces éléments sont repris dans le manuel du programme qu'on vous demande bien entendu de consulter en plus des documents qui vous ont été présentés par mes collègues. Et dans les cahiers des charges et dans l'application form de courtoisie. Ensuite, concernant le budget, qui est un sujet qui intéresse tout le monde, Donc, les projets de communauté thématique et les projets institutionnels ont deux budgets différents. Les projets s'articulent sur 7 ans de mise en œuvre et les budgets sont entre 5 et 4 millions, selon le type de projet sur lequel vous voulez vous inscrire. Ces seuils sont des maximums qui ne peuvent en aucun cas être dépassés, puisque de toute façon, l'enveloppe budgétaire pour chacun des appels est limitée, et dans ce cas-là, également pour chacun des types de projets. Pour l'élaboration de votre budget, on vous demande de vous référer à la partie du manuel « Élaborer mon budget » et aux sections finances, chapitre « Éligibilité des coûts » qui sera très bientôt disponible. Donc là, vous verrez que différentes règles sont établies pour 21-27. Et lors de l'élaboration de votre budget, on vous demande de ne pas oublier que les règles de communication et de branding ont changé pour cette période, notamment le logo, le site web qui est également fourni par le programme. Si vous étiez avec nous sur la période actuelle, vous connaissez ce mécanisme. Lors de réunions techniques, on donnera plus de détails sur la construction du work plan et la budgétisation de vos activités. Néanmoins, on vous annonce dès à présent qu'il y a différentes catégories d'options qui ont été, catégories de coûts qui ont été ajoutées par les instances communautaires et donc des options de coûts simplifiés nouvelles également qui ont été proposées par le programme. Et enfin, des aspects d'éligibilité des coûts qui devront également être revus. Donc, pour ces éléments, c'est au manuel qu'il faudra vous référer principalement, puisque les cahiers des charges ne reprendront aucun de ces aspects. Concernant votre partenariat, la composition du partenariat et la qualité de ce que vous allez présenter en termes de partenariat va être évaluée par les collègues. Donc, Lidwin vous a présenté les Suitest Partners. Ce sont les partenaires que nous attendons principalement pour cet appel, mais certains prérequis sont à prendre en compte concernant l'éligibilité de votre proposition. Donc, les aspects qualitatifs seront pris en compte lors de l'évaluation. Néanmoins, les quelques critères que je vous présente à présent sont obligatoires. Donc, vous devez avoir à minima 6 pays de la zone Interreg MED représentés dans votre partenariat, ce qui signifie des partenaires en provenance de pays en instance d'adhésion ou en demande d'adhésion, et situés dans les régions parmi les 69 qui ont été introduites en début de présentation par Nicolas, c'est-à-dire des partenaires de 6 pays dans la zone MED. Donc Bruxelles ou Paris, par exemple, ne peuvent pas compter dans le minimum obligatoire. Ensuite, parmi ces 6 structures, au moins l'une d'entre elles doit être basée dans un pays membre de l'espace et un autre dans les territoires IPA de notre espace également. Voilà, donc un minima, vous ne pouvez pas proposer un projet entièrement focalisé sur la zone IPA ou entièrement focalisé sur les États membres. Et dernier point, le chef de file devra toujours être une autorité publique ou équivalent public. Voilà, donc il n'y a pas de limite de participation par pays pour cet appel, mais la transnationalité sera bien entendu prise en compte. Donc c'est à vous de préparer un budget et une proposition qui sera cohérente, qui défendra, qui démontrera la valeur ajoutée de chacun de vos partenaires et surtout qui lui donnera un budget cohérent avec les activités prévues. Ça, ce sera évalué dans la partie évaluation du projet. Ensuite, concernant le partenariat, la liste des partenaires éligibles au programme se trouve dans le manuel, donc il n'y a aucune interdiction pour cet appel. Néanmoins, la légitimité de chacun doit être donc démontrée dans la proposition. Les partenaires les plus pertinents sont mentionnés dans le cahier des charges et ont été évoqués par Lidwin tout à l'heure. Et il y a quelques restrictions qui sont mentionnées dans les documents du cahier des charges et qui sont spécifiques au projet gouvernance. Donc, ces restrictions sont les critères d'éligibilité que je viens de vous présenter et maintenant, ces points d'attention sur lesquels on vous demande de garder un œil. Donc, pour les candidats chefs de file, vous ne pourrez être chef de file de projet sélectionné que dans un seul projet. Donc, après sélection, tout chef de file qui serait éventuellement présent comme partenaire ou chef de file dans plus d'une proposition devra choisir de se positionner dans un seul projet. Concernant les partenaires des projets sélectionnés ne peuvent participer qu'à un seul projet du même type. Donc là, on parle de projet communauté thématique ou de projet de dialogue institutionnel. Vous devrez donc choisir de vous positionner dans un seul projet du même type si jamais vous étiez sur 2 candidatures retenues. La participation à cet appel n'implique aucune restriction sur une éventuelle participation à des futurs appels projets thématiques. Néanmoins, on vous demande quand même d'éviter au maximum les multicandidatures sur cet appel ISO 1 afin de faciliter le travail de refonte des projets lors des phases de pre-contracting et ce qui facilitera au maximum le démarrage des activités de vos collègues si jamais vous devez quitter ou intégrer un nouveau projet. Donc, tous ces aspects bien particuliers sont dans les cahiers des charges de l'appel et sont repris également lors de l'évaluation. Dans le temps, il y a d'autres spécificités qui sont liées au projet gouvernance qui sont évoquées, notamment au regard des activités obligatoires qui sont, je le rappelle, applicables à tous les projets. Néanmoins, dans le cadre du présent appel, ces activités vont raisonner d'une autre manière. Donc là, je laisse la parole à Ludwig à nouveau. Je vous passe.
So coming back in link with the result amplification strategy, of course, there are mandatory compulsory activities specific to the governance projects. So the first one, the first idea is that since the governance projects are the sword, the armed sword of the results amplification strategy and aim at implementing it in a large way. So all activities will be related to the 3 objectives of the result amplification strategy. So there will be 3 work packages. Each of them will include communication activities. These 3 work packages will have each one objective that will be reuse, transfer, and coordination, which has the shortcut for the 3 objectives of the strategy. And for the thematic community projects, in addition, there will be an activity of monitoring contributions of thematic projects to the indicators of the UN indicators for these type of projects. These are the mandatory activities, and all the activities will be structured for all the governance projects. Also, there will be a mandatory activity related to coordination among the partners, among the projects that belong to the same missions, and also among all government projects. Because as you saw, we need the projects to work on the same missions, to have complementary activities, to be coordinated, and we cannot do it just if we don't communicate. So there will be a coordination activity that will have to be planned, and it will have to be planned throughout the whole duration of the projects in all the 3 work packages. Another one will be a flexibility activity, because if we intend to develop coordinated activities, joint activities, of course, we need to plan ahead with the budget, and to do so, we cannot do it right away. And we'll see, we'll discuss this also, but we will only expect a 2-year work plan, but we will have to have a flexibility with the budget. So you will have to foresee what we will call flexibility activity. This will be throughout the whole duration of the project, and it will enable to have a flexible work plan related to the coordination and the process of coordination that will drive to new activities. Another one is the Euro-MED activity, academy activity. For this programming period, the horizontal projects have come together to create this academy, and it will be a continuation that will be in coordination with the joint secretariat. And so it will be added, you'll have to add it under the second objective of your work plan, that is transferred. And in this case, that when I talked about the associated partners, it's a way also for associated partners to benefit from the results of the projects they will contribute to, because this academy, those modules and courses will be open to all Mediterranean stakeholders, and including, of course, associated partners. So there's no funds to allocated to associated partners, but what we want is to have the results shared and transferred and agreed upon. And the last actions that will be mandatory for all projects, so it's not only governance projects, it's a carbon footprint compensation. And this activity that we'll talk about later and during the different seminars that we'll have, because after this information seminar, we will have dedicated seminars to talk about work plan development and also this carbon footprint compensation activity. So this will have to be also planned throughout the whole project, and it will be under the coordination objective. And then I'll go back to give it back to Ludwig for the remaining.
OK. On va un petit peu voyager. Alors, donc après ce petit tour d'horizon, on a essayé de vous donner toutes les clés pour la préparation des propositions. Si vous voulez plus de détails, bien entendu, on vous demande d'aller consulter l'ensemble des documents qui apparaissent sur la page web du programme et qui sont d'ores et déjà disponibles, pour ceux qui ne l'auraient pas vu. On vous invite également à consulter donc, le manuel qui sera publié très prochainement et qui est en cours d'approbation par nos États. Donc, concernant la soumission le dépôt de vos propositions, plusieurs étapes vont être à respecter. Donc, concrètement, comment ça se passe? Vous aurez une application form à remplir sur le système en ligne de la nouvelle période de programmation qui est GEMS. C'est un système qui est partagé entre 40 programmes de coopération. Donc, on espère qu'il conviendra à l'ensemble des bénéficiaires. Normalement, vous devriez arriver en terrain connu si vous participez également à d'autres types de programmes. Ensuite, en plus de l'application form, des annexes vont devoir être présentées avec votre candidature. Donc, ces annexes devront être intégrées dans le système. Parmi elles, les déclarations partenaires ou chefs de file qui seront normalement générées par James. Donc, ça, on vous le confirmera très rapidement. Et ensuite, une version signée des documents des partenaires associés. Donc, les partenaires associés qui ont été évoqués tout à l'heure doivent être liés dans le formulaire à chacun des partenaires cofinancés dans le projet et doivent, dans une déclaration, un petit peu reprendre les éléments, la valeur ajoutée qu'ils présentent donc, pour le projet. Concernant les étapes, donc vous aurez deux étapes. Une première qui correspond à la validation de l'application form, donc qui devra être validée avant le 24 mai 2022 à midi. Et ensuite, vous aurez 10 jours de plus pour faire signer les annexes que vous générerez à partir de James et qui, du coup, devront être téléchargées et uploadées sur le système avant le 7 juin 2022. Donc, les dates peuvent encore changer puisqu'elles sont sujettes à modification concernant le dépôt du programme et l'approbation du programme. Donc, pour la date de clôture, celle-ci peut être éventuellement décalée. On vous invite à vous tenir informé via la page web, bien entendu. Les documents de référence pour tous ces éléments sont toujours le manuel et surtout les termes de référence et des guides de James qui sont en ligne et qui sont disponibles également pour les partenaires. Par la suite, concernant les étapes de candidature et de sélection des candidatures, l'évaluation des projets se fait sur 3 étapes. Donc, chacune d'entre elles peut conduire au rejet de la candidature. Vous avez avant tout l'éligibilité, la vérification de l'éligibilité et de la validité administrative de votre candidature. Ensuite, une évaluation qui est faite par le secrétariat en une seule fois. Et donc à ce moment-là, les projets sont sélectionnés en tenant compte de leur score par ordre décroissant, des positions de chaque délégation nationale sur la proposition du secrétariat et bien entendu du budget disponible pour l'appel sur le type de projet sur lequel vous vous inscrivez. Après évaluation de toutes les propositions, elles seront classées en fonction de leur score global par mission. Donc la décision finale d'approbation sera prise par le comité sur la base du score et du classement final. Voilà. Si les meilleures propositions obtiennent le même score, d'éventuels entretiens pourront être organisés à la demande du comité. Dernière étape, des critères précontractuels qui vont être établis et qui proposent une date limite pour le dépôt d'informations complémentaires qui sont clés pour la mise en œuvre du projet. Donc, si jamais les critères précontractuels n'étaient pas remplis, la sélection du projet serait remise en question. Concernant l'évaluation en elle-même, vous avez l'ensemble du matériel d'évaluation qui est disponible dans les cahiers des charges et vous pouvez vous aider de l'application form de courtoisie pour mieux comprendre les aspects qui vont être évalués par les collègues du secrétariat. Ce qu'on vous conseille également, c'est d'essayer de vous auto-évaluer une fois que vous aurez drafté votre proposition, puisque ça vous permet souvent de déceler d'éventuelles lacunes concernant les informations qui sont attendues de la part du secrétariat pour une ou plusieurs sections. Voilà, donc toujours les documents de référence à bien garder en tête, s'il vous plaît. Concernant maintenant le calendrier, outre les étapes de dépôt des idées de projet qui vont être faites entre le 7 et le 11 mars, et ensuite la possibilité d'entretien avec le secrétariat qui va également vous être offerte au travers de la page web du programme du 21 au 31 mars. Des réunions techniques vont être organisées pour accompagner la rédaction des candidatures. Donc ces réunions techniques, le planning est déjà fixé. Vous avez ici l'ensemble des sujets qui seront abordés. Un séminaire Carbon Footprint a été ajouté au calendrier initial. Donc, les dernières réunions techniques se tiendront à la mi-mai. Ensuite, pour la soumission de le dépôt de votre proposition, on a dit le 24 mai et le 7 juin pour le dépôt des annexes. Et enfin, une évaluation du secrétariat et une sélection par le comité attendue entre juin et septembre si le calendrier tel que nous le suivons actuellement est maintenu. Ensuite, le prochain appel thématique sera ouvert en juin. Donc, pour les partenaires qui jugeraient non opportun de participer à cet appel gouvernance, sachez que l'appel thématique ouvrira en juin pour les projets thématiques. Voilà, donc gardez bien en tête les dates de proposition, de dépôt de votre proposition. Et ici, l'ensemble des documents qu'on vous demande de vérifier. Donc, les éléments présentés ce jour sont tous intégralement repris et détaillés dans les documents du programme et de l'appel. Donc, il y a une complémentarité entre les documents. Les informations ne sont pas répétées entre les documents. Donc, allez lire le manuel et allez lire les cahiers des charges de votre appel, ainsi que l'application form de courtoisie, qui, pour cette période, comporte beaucoup plus d'informations que ce qu'elle pouvait comporter précédemment. On vous invite également à aller regarder la page de l'appel qui est sur notre site, ainsi que les différents autres documents clés du programme, comme le programme de coopération ou la stratégie d'optimisation des résultats. Voilà. Très rapidement, dès que les éléments sont validés par nos États, et au fil de l'eau, on mettra à jour le manuel. Donc, celui-ci est en cours d'élaboration et de validation. On vous publiera des packages par étape en fonction du niveau d'avancement de vos projets. Voilà.
And that's it. Thank you, Ludivine, and thank you all. So I'm guessing now you know everything about the program and the call, and you don't have any question, I'm sure. No, I'm joking. It's the time to ask all the questions and to answer to any doubts you may have. So as explained, Please use slido.com to enter your questions with the code #call1. Just a reminder, the third part will focus on the tools to help you submit an application, and we will discuss about the website, the online forum, the project ideas, how we will answer your questions, and the online tool gems. So if you have any questions on this topic, please keep them for the second round of question and answers. And another thing, I've been told that we have a lot of questions. So if some of them were answered during the presentations, please erase them from the Slido. And so, okay, let's start. Let's try to start. Okay, I should see the questions here. No. Okay. That's a good question. We have some questions, but we cannot see them. Okay.
Start presenting.
Mais comment?
Just questions on this slide. Okay.
No. Okay. Coffee time is not for now. Just one second. Quoi? Ok, comment
Pascal,
Yes.
il faut que tu sois en mode présentation. Tu es bien en mode présentation?
Oui.
Alors, je ne sais pas. Essaye de supprimer la slide, d'en mettre, de la remettre.
Sinon, sur ton PC, ça marche pas?
On peut faire le coffee break maintenant et on revient après.
Ce serait possible.
Okay.
Maybe we could say yes to the question coffee.
Coffee break.
Okay, yes. Okay, so we switched. We go to the coffee break and we take about 15 minutes. So let's meet at, well, okay, 11:05, if that's okay for you. And we try to fix all these technical issues. Okay, have a good coffee or tea.
Thank
you very much. See you then.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, I hope you had the time to grab a cup of coffee, and now we are finally ready for the questions and answers we will provide. I will mainly give the floor to Sophie, who is our head of project unit. And okay, so let's start with the first question. Has the percentage of co-founding changed, or does it remain the same?
Hello, good morning from my side too. So for the first question, the co-funding is of 80% of ERDF or Interreg funds, which includes ERDF and IPA funds, and 20% of national co-financing. Let's have a general comment on the different questions. We have received a lot of questions. We hope that some of them has been answered already during the first presentation. However, if not, we will take all the questions that were not answered, the most relevant ones, in our FAQ. So you will have the answers in the website if we don't have the time to answer to all of them today. Concerning the question on partnership, as we have a lot of questions on who can participate, if there are some types of partners which are eligible or not. Let's clarify that in terms of eligibility, all are eligible. All types of partners are eligible for this call. However, as it was well explained by Ludwig and Ludwig previously, the suited partners for this call are limited in terms of what skills and capacities we expect for those types of projects. This is one thing. The other thing to consider is that those partners need really to have the capacity to mobilize external actors and to answer to the different objectives of the program and of the result quantification strategy of the program. Then also, what is important to consider is that we speak about a 7-year project. So the partner needs to have the capacities, administrative and financial capacities, to participate and to implement those projects for 7 years. And then it's also important to consider that you are in a world partnership and in a project. So you have also all the reporting, the certification of expenditure, etc. So it's important to consider all those aspects, not only in terms of content and activities, but also in terms of administrative burden, let's say, that an Interreg project has, even if we try to limit it as a maximum, in order to consider if you are eligible or not in such, or if you are in capacity, sorry, to implement such a project. Then in terms of, we have the limitation, so there is no limitation of the number of partners per se, but we advise to keep a small partnership, a manageable small partnership between 6 to 8 partners would seems to be the most manageable one size for such a project. So yes, we can have can a lead partner be from IPA countries? Yes, this is new. This is brand new for the Interreg Euro-MED program now, because it was not the case since during the Interreg MED program, the 14-20 period. But now IPA countries can be lead partners. They are eligible to be lead partners. The application from the courtesy and will be available by next week. We think about it's about to be finalized and validated by the participating states of the program. So it will be available on our website in the page dedicated to the call by next week. And as we said, James will be open after not before the 24th of February. Yes, we expecting the application for a whole 18-month working plan in general with the methodology of the project, but not with all detailed activities. The detailed activities should cover the 2 first years, because of course we need flexibility, adaptability, and as we said, we will work together in developing the projects. With the JS, with the members, the participating states, but also between the different governance projects together. So the work plan will be revised and detailed every 2 years. Yes, stated rules apply for all projects in the program. If it's possible, more than one partner from the same country to participate in the same proposal, yes, it is possible. But you need to, this will be, the relevance will be assessed during the assessment phase. And within the limit we have said, meaning that we need at least 6 countries from the program area and a limited number of partners. So, of course, you have to see how this should be, how to ensure a balanced partnership. A partner of a governance project can be partner of a thematic project in the forthcoming thematic project call, yes, even if it's in the same mission. There is no restriction this time. Could a project partner from Bosnia participate as co-funding partner? Bosnia, yes, it's one of the partner countries of the program, one of the 14 countries, partner countries of the program as an IPA territory. So yes, of course, a partner from Bosnia can participate. He will receive the 80% co-funded, and he will have to contribute with the remaining 20%. So for the restrictions on the number of participations in the same call, this was said previously by Ludivine, but let's recall here again. At the level of the application, there is no restriction, but after selection, only a lead partner from a thematic community, yes, from a thematic community project or from a governance project cannot be partner in another governance project. But a lead partner from a, as thematic projects will come after, the question is, I mean, you can be a partner now in a governance project and then apply as a lead partner to a thematic project. Okay, this is possible. I don't know exactly if the question is right here or, but yes, it will be possible as partner of a governance project or even lead partner to participate as lead partner in a thematic project. Concerning the NGOs, the committee, yes, is going to will take the decision on the capacity and eligibility of the NGO during the assessment phase. Okay. Which part on the question on which partners or how many can change every 2 years? There is no specific rule, but this will be assessed together with the JS, depending on the implementation of the project, the needs of the partnership, the quality also of implementation and of each partner. So there will be a possibility to change if needed, of course, but without restriction. But of course, the minimum, the criteria, the eligibility criteria of the partnership will need to be respected. Meaning that the minimum 6 different countries of the eligible area will have to be respected, even when we change partnership within the implementation time of the program. What else? Is there going to be a partnership section on website? Yes, indeed. A forum will be available. We will speak about that just afterwards in our second part of this session. And then can a partner apply for a thematic community and okay. Do indirect costs remain as a flat rate of 15%? Yes, indeed. Or not indirect costs, it's administrative and office costs. I suppose that this was the question. Is 15% of the staff cost, of the eligible staff cost. And if a partner can apply for a thematic community and an institutional dialogue project under the same priority, as a partner, the maximum is, yes, you can have one partner of the same type, not more than one of the same type. So you can be partner of a thematic community and an institutional dialogue project maximum. And it can be under the same priority. The priority is governance, and so under the same mission. That's it? Yes. Okay, that's good. So I pass the floor to Pascal for the next session.
Yes, so thank you, Sophie, for your answers. We will explain now in the last part of this session the tools that will help you to submit an application. So I will stop sharing my screen and I will give the floor to Laura who is our communication officer, and then afterwards Florian, who is our IT officer, and they will explain you all the tools we have for you to submit your application. So please, Laura.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm searching for the presentation. All right, can you see my presentation? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so well, you probably noticed that there have been a few changes in terms of communication for the new programming period. So I'll just review them very quickly. So we have a new name, we have a new branding, and we have a new website. So about the new name, it is now Interreg Euro-MED. We're not talking about Interreg MED or MED program. Even this is even more outdated than Interreg MED. So we are talking about Interreg Euro-MED. This name has been chosen by the European Commission. Just so you know, it is not our, it's not us who chose it. And so we are talking about the Interreg Euro-MED cooperation area. We insist on this because this area is different, as you know, from the Interreg MED area. It has changed with new countries and new regions joined us. So it is very important to use the right words. And as for the logo, you probably noticed it already. This is a very simple logo. It follows, it is in line with the EC regulations. Again, we are only following the European Commission regulations and Interact also regulations for this logo. So we have exactly the same logo as all the Interreg program, at least as all the transnational program, because for this programming period, the European Commission has been very strict with the branding rules that we will explain further during our lead partner seminar. So once you have been selected already. So about the new branding, what we wanted to highlight for this programming period is the environment, nature side of the program for this programming period. So we went for a digital print to represent the carbon footprint that we leave on our planet, and also to represent the technology and innovation, because as you know, it is also represented by this icon. And we combined it together with a leaf to emphasize the natural resources and the focus of the program for 21-27. So the combination then is like that then. So it's we wanted to have something very light, much lighter than for the previous programming period. We have also 4 new icons to represent the 4 missions that you have already seen before in the presentation, and for the kickoff event for those who were in Lisbon. So there is 1 icon per thematic mission, and as you can see, the leaf can be found on each of them, because we wanted to insist on the environment side of the program. We have a new website which is online. It was put online yesterday at 12 exactly. So we invite you to go and have a look. It is not yet completely filled with all the content, with everything, but you can already find everything you need for your new application. So what's in the website? What is in it for you? So there are 5 forums actually. So there is one forum permission and also one specific for this call. So on this forum, you can search for partners, post your project idea, network. It is totally up to you to post anything you'd like. We will moderate it, of course, to check if there is no appropriate post, but for the rest, you are totally free to do whatever you want. There is also a FAQ section that my colleague will detail you later on, because there is a specific functioning for this FAQ. It is regularly updated, so you should find almost every thing that you need, all the answers that you need. And on the website, there are already published 3 pages of interest for you. One page which is called Get Involved, where you can have access to the page called 1, so this call. And there is also another page which is called Documents and Tools, where you can find everything. So in the page Get Involved, you can find information about the calls, past or open calls, the calendar of calls as well. You can find the access to forum and to GEMS, which is our monitoring system. In the page call number 1, you can find a short description of the call and which project types are targeted within this call. You can find the events that you can participate in to support your application, because you will see we will organize a series of events which are going to take place in the next month. And you can also find the documents that you need for your application, terms of reference, the program manual soon available, not yet, as my colleague mentioned, and also the program document. And finally, in the document and tool section page, sorry, you can find the program documents and mostly the cooperation program, which you will need for your application. You'll find some tutorials, user manuals, especially for GEMS, and the FAQ. So let me show you how it looks like. So this is how the new website looks like. I hope you can all see. So this is the home page. So I invite you to go through it. In terms of content, not much has changed since the previous programming period. And as I was mentioning before, in the page Get Involved, you can find all you need for your application. The provisional calendar here, and the access to the page for the first call for governance project. Just need to click on read more and you will have access to it. And all the documents that you need for your applications can be found on the bottom, at the bottom of the page. And also you have access to the GEMS monitoring system and the different forums that I was mentioning earlier on. So one per mission and one specifically for the governance project. So I can just click and you see for now there is not much to see because the forum is empty, but it is only waiting for you to post your project IDs. I've seen that a lot of you actually has been posting description of their organization, their contact, and so on. So what I invite you to do now after this session is actually to post your description and contact and etc. on this forum, on the appropriate forum, because this is the place where you can do all this, and it will be much easier for you actually. We had a previous forum for the previous programming period, which was working really well. So we hope that it will be as successful as for the previous programming period. And then finally, the documents and tools page, where you can find, as I mentioned, the cooperation program, which is in English and French. Yes, just actually an important note. So far, the website is available only in English. We haven't had time yet to put the content in French, but everything that you need for your application is also available in French in the English version of the website. So as you can see here, you can download the French version of the cooperation program, and the same goes for the terms of reference. They are available in French, so don't worry, everything is there in French. Also, the other documents that might be of some use for you, if you want to go and have a look at it, and the FAQ that my colleague will detail earlier on, later on. As you can see, there are different sections: themes, project content, mission, objective, partnerships. And that's it. So that's it for the website. Going back to the presentation. And I'm going to leave the floor to my colleague. Oops, sorry, my colleague Nicola, who will talk about something specific.
Okay, hello again. This is just one additional information for you to get feedback from us. So we will offer an additional opportunity with these new calls for you to get direct feedback from us during the preparation of your proposal. And this will be in the form of a conversation with the JS team on your project idea. So first, you will have access to an online questionnaire on the program website, where you will first provide initial elements of your project concept and answer some questions like what needs do you have, what needs does your project respond to, how does it fit with the mission, how do you intend to improve the governance processes in the Mediterranean, and what's the idea based on, who are your partners, or what type of partners are you looking for, and how are they relevant to your proposal. And then the JS will collect and review the ideas, and then you will be invited to join the JS in a 30-minute video call or a call to exchange on your idea. We will provide feedback and answer your questions. So basically, to make sure that your idea is in line with the call expectations, and that you're on the right track to fully develop your proposal. So be aware that we have to limit the number of sessions available for this opportunity. So we will have only 30 slots available. So make sure to submit your idea in time. We will open the questionnaire for just 1 week, starting from the 7th of March, so that will be a few days after the opening of GEMS, but this should leave you enough time until then to make sure that your concept is mature enough so that you can ask us the right questions and decide how to go ahead. And another requirement is that we will ask that there are representatives from at least 2 partners present in the call, including the lead partner, and that these representatives, these partners are registered on the GEMS system. Okay, that's it for me. Now I think we can move on to other forms of questions and answers from our side and tools. Back to you. And the presentation is not in presentation mode. At least I can see the full PowerPoint and not the presentation itself.
Yes, thank you, Nicolas. Now it's Florian, our IT officer, who will take the floor and also share his screen to show you the rest of our tools that we propose. So we are waiting for Florian.
I will share my screen just now, and I will switch to French. Ok. Bonjour à tous, donc j'espère que vous voyez bien mon écran. Au niveau de... Voilà. Donc moi, de mon côté, je vais vous parler, vous présenter très brièvement en fait les nouveaux processus que le secrétariat a mis en place pour les questions. Donc, dans un souci d'équité, pour éviter de fournir des réponses plus ou moins détaillées aux partenaires, nous avons décidé de supprimer les entrées multiples, donc email, téléphone, qui arrivaient à différents endroits. Donc, ça pouvait être les assistants, les chargés de projet au niveau de l'IT aussi. Et donc, de vous proposer un outil unique qui permettra de collecter toutes vos demandes et de les traiter de façon efficace et transparente avant de repartager l'ensemble des informations avec les partenaires sur la FAQ. Donc, plus précisément, comment ça se passe? Alors, donc, au niveau du partenaire, dans un premier temps, ça va être de prendre le temps de lire la FAQ ou de lancer une recherche sur le site pour voir si la réponse n'existe pas, n'a pas déjà été traitée. Si ce n'est pas le cas, en fait, vous allez pouvoir créer un ticket sur le centre de support via le formulaire qui est présent sur le site. Donc, cette demande sera reçue par le secrétariat et sera redirigée, sera dispatchée vers la bonne personne. Donc, la réponse sera ensuite validée avant d'être renvoyée vers le partenaire et, si besoin, de déclencher une mise à jour de la FAQ. Donc, au niveau du site, comment ça se présente? Donc, vous allez pouvoir retrouver, désolé, voilà. Donc, vous allez pouvoir retrouver au niveau de la FAQ l'ensemble des questions qui ont déjà été traitées. Donc, vous avez une zone de recherche qui vous permet de, par exemple, taper un terme qui va se retrouver soit dans les pages ou soit directement dans les articles de la FAQ. Et si votre question n'est pas traitée, vous pouvez envoyer un message directement au secrétariat en précisant le sujet de votre question, le détail de la question, et vous envoyez tout ça au secrétariat. Une fois que c'est fait, votre question va être prise en charge, et donc vous allez pouvoir retrouver au niveau d'un écran qui est personnel l'ensemble des questions que vous avez déjà soumis au secrétariat, ainsi que l'état d'avancement de la question. Donc là, par exemple, dans ce cas, vous pouvez voir que j'ai soumis 2 questions. J'ai envoyé 2 questions. Une a été résolue et une autre est encore en attente. Donc, si vous allez consulter le détail de la question qui est résolue, vous pouvez voir à ce niveau-là le cheminement ainsi que la réponse qui vous a été fournie. Cette réponse, elle vous est aussi envoyée directement par mail sur le mail qui est associé à votre compte. Donc, voilà, à ce niveau-là. Donc, au niveau des questions, pour résumer, vous n'avez plus qu'un seul outil à utiliser. Et de cette façon-là, nous allons pouvoir, avec ce processus assez simple, garantir un bon niveau de qualité et un même niveau d'information pour tous les partenaires. Le deuxième point de la présentation, c'est GEMS, donc c'est l'outil de monitorage. Donc pour cela, le programme, comme on vous l'a déjà indiqué dans ce séminaire, le programme a utilisé GEMS, donc c'est l'outil qui est proposé par Interact et qui a déjà été adopté par de nombreux autres programmes Interreg, donc une quarantaine pour le moment. Donc cela permettra à notre niveau de proposer une certaine homogénéité et un meilleur partage des données avec les autres outils d'Interact et de la Commission. Donc l'ensemble des candidatures se fera en ligne à cette adresse-là. Donc vous pourrez à ce niveau-là vous enregistrer et ensuite proposer votre candidature pour l'appel qui est en cours. De plus, comme cet outil est utilisé par pas mal de programmes, vous ne serez pas dépaysé si vous devez gérer plusieurs candidatures ou plusieurs projets dans des programmes différents. Donc, vous pouvez retrouver le lien vers GEMS au niveau de la page Document and Tools, ainsi que les documents, ainsi que tout ce qui est documentation. Donc vous avez le lien vers les documents. Vous retrouvez aussi le lien vers GEMS au niveau de la page Get Involved. Donc, qu'est-ce que ça donne en fait au niveau du contenu? Quand vous connectez sur GEMS, donc je ne vais pas vous faire une présentation détaillée, ce n'est pas l'objet du jour, mais quand vous connectez sur GEMS, vous allez retrouver dans un premier écran un dashboard qui va vous présenter un résumé de l'ensemble des appels qui sont en cours pour le programme Euro-MED, ainsi que des candidatures que vous avez déjà commencé à préparer. Donc, au niveau d'une candidature, donc pour ceux qui ont connu Synergie CTE lors de la précédente période de programmation, donc l'interface sera un peu plus claire et le cheminement, je l'espère, un peu plus simple aussi. Donc, vous allez pouvoir retrouver l'ensemble des rubriques de l'application form à ce niveau-là. Vous allez pouvoir saisir toutes les données, retrouver un certain nombre d'écrans récapitulatifs sur le budget, sur le work plan, par exemple. Et une fois que vous avez terminé de renseigner vos données, vous pouvez faire un check, une vérification avant dépôt qui vous ressortira l'ensemble des points qu'il reste à vérifier et à corriger avant de pouvoir soumettre. Donc, au niveau du programme, nous vous conseillons de faire cette vérification assez régulièrement, parce que c'est vrai qu'on retrouve un certain nombre de points corrigés à chaque fois que l'on va exécuter cette vérification, et donc ce n'est pas quelque chose qu'il faut faire au dernier moment, juste avant de soumettre votre candidature le jour de la clôture de l'appel. Donc, renseignez vos informations au fur et à mesure. Faites vos validations avant dépôt régulièrement de manière à pouvoir corriger les points à corriger. Et quand tout sera bon, vous pouvez soumettre votre candidature pour cet appel. Voilà, c'est tout pour moi à ce niveau-là. Donc, je rends la main à... Voilà, j'arrête le partage.
Can I just add something, Pascal?
Sure.
Yeah, just before we switch to another topic, just to insist that to network, you should really use the forum, because we don't know what we will be able to do with your chat posts. So yeah, just everything that you've written on the chat, we invite you to post it on the forum.
Okay, thank you, my dear colleagues, for that precious information. So now we are moving to the second round of Q&A. So I will share my screen and cross the fingers that it's working to see the questions. You will tell me. Okay. There you go. Oh, I think it's coming. Okay.
Okay. So I was told that I was too fast in the first round of questions of answers, so I will slow down this time. So can you say more on what the purpose of the 3rd March Partnership Technical Meeting is for? Yeah, of course. We have organized a series of technical meetings in order to go deeper in each part of the application form you need to complete in order to submit a proposal, and in order to go to have more information and about the content and about the technical aspects on how to complete it in GEMS. So we have split this in different sections, as it is finally in the application form. So first, to speak about the partnerships, then on the work plan, indicators, activities, etc. Then on the budget and the annexes, and finally with a focus on the carbon footprint monitoring. And then we will have also a session just open to any question you still may have before the submission of your proposal.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, Sophie.
Okay. So the first one is on how to build a suited, balanced partnership. So we will focus on that question. And this is really important for all those who have really decided to jump into this new adventure and to submit a proposal. Then, can you confirm if Brussels and Paris-based institutions do count or not as country for the consortium? So, in the minimum of 6, no, but they can be added to those 6. I think it's clear now. Are these kind of projects address many organizations that were already partners in MED projects from previous program periods? Sorry. No, it's not addressed only to those organizations, but of course, experience is important. So the 1420 experience is really important to take on board. That's why we have organized thematic seminars at the end of January, in the beginning of February. We have organized 3 seminars on the return of experience of horizontal projects and governance projects of the 1420 period in order to share experience. if a project is selected and one of the partners quits over another project, is the constructor obliged to add a similar type of partner? And what is the deadline? Yes, if we will have to see the conditions. If the minimum requirements for the partnership is not respected anymore, you will have, of course, to replace it. And if not, you will have to see if the remaining partners can implement the project. So this will be on case-by-case basis, of course, depending on how the partnership is built and what are the role, what is the role of the partner that is leading the partnership. Because of course, what is important here is to see the role of all the partners to individually and all together, and to ensure that the balance is still here. Will it be better to register as an organization in GEMS instead of different people from the same organization being registered? In GEMS, you register as an organization and with a contact person, and you have one role. So I'm not sure I understand the question, but you can have different contacts, of course, registered for the same organization within the system. This is possible. With an access, individual access. The access is individual to person. So if you are more than one person working on the proposal, it's better to have your individual access to it. Otherwise, if you use only one access simultaneously with different persons, we are not sure that things will work properly. So
only lead partner will access.
But only the, yes, I remind that that only the lead partner have access to the application form at the stage of the application. Partners will have access to the application form only when the project will be selected and approved. Are travel costs accounted as a flat rate now? There are two possibilities now. The first one is a flat rate of 15% of staff cost for ERDF territories and 22% for IPA territories, and this is the most suited option. But for those who cannot have staff, cannot declare staff costs, there is also a possibility to have to declare staff costs as direct costs, if this is justified. So if they cannot declare staff costs, or if they have another good reason not to go for a flat rate, they can declare in real cost. But be aware that this cannot change from one project to another during the whole program period duration. So it's important that your partners choose their option from the beginning, and knowing that the flat rate is, of course, the most convenient, let's say, and easiest way to declare staff costs. Will there be preparation costs for the proposal this time? Yes, there will be preparation costs for the proposal also for this school. It's a lump sum that can be shared between the partners. Regarding the interviews with the JS to discuss ideas for project, could you repeat the process to do them? Yes, I can repeat it. So there will be an online, there is an online questionnaire you can complete, you need to complete, and to submit the week between the 7th and the 11th of March, so that you have enough time from now on until then to think about your proposal and to, it's a short project idea. Once you will have submitted your project idea, and you will have also already registered in GEMS your proposal, then we will assess all this, we'll review all these ideas, and we will.
Sto seguendo un convegno.
Maria Quarta?
Your microphone,
Dove sei tu?
Thank you. So once we will have received all those project ideas, we will review them, and we will propose to you a 30-minute video interview between the 21st and 31st of March, more or less, in order to give you also the time then to review your proposal, to assess if you are on the right track or not. How can we register to the platform to participate in the forum? It's, I think, quite easy. You have to go on the form and to register as a person. You need to register your organization. Maybe our colleagues can just after the session show how to register in live in the website, please. Next, please. So, should governance project be submitted be based on results of previous projects, e.g. modular, etc.? Okay, as we said, experience and what has been done before is important, but if you read well all the objectives of those projects, you will see that the meaning is not to work on individual projects, but to work for a world mission, a thematic community of projects under a single mission towards thematic community project or for institutional dialogue project. So experience is important, yes, but the individual results of thematic project may not be the most relevant one. Can a partner apply to one mission's institutional dialogue and another mission's thematic community? Not the, yes, as we said, you can apply for one project as partner only, for one institutional dialogue project and for one thematic community project. This is possible, even in the same mission or in a different mission. How can ongoing Interreg project ending in 4 months from now act as platforms for a future proposal for a governance project? Okay, I don't think that we can answer to such a question now. It depends on the strategy and the methodology of the projects, for sure. But the ongoing Interreg projects, which are going to end in 4 months, are thematic projects and not horizontal governance projects. Those will end a little bit afterwards. Can a partner newcomer participate with governance? Yes, I have already answered to this question in the way around before. Yes, a newcomer can participate to a governance project. The balance of the partnership, the skills and capacities are what is important to be assessed when building a partnership. Yes. Can all the proposed projects ask for a feedback session, and will the JS choose the 30 projects that will receive feedback? We will go on the first come, first served principle. So between the 7th and the 11th of March, we will take the 31st ones.
No need to ask 3, 4 same. So concerning each partner can choose its own option of cost, or one option is available to all partnership. I think we speak about travel cost. The option is blocked for the organization. So let's say that if your partner, if your structure is participating to more than one project, it will have to use the same methodology for the full participation, for all participation to the Interreg Euro-MED project from now to 2027. Then there is no possibility to adapt, there is no possibility to change, because it could be very, very risky for in terms of follow-up. So those are part of the 4 points you have to fix very clearly with your lead partner during the application procedure. In the manual, you will see a section on how to build up my budget. And in this section, there are 4 key information to be agreed, writtenly agreed, I suggest, with your lead partner, in order to be sure that your participation on the project has been filled in accordance with what you want as partner. How many? 8?
Okay, 8 projects will be approved, 1 per mission and per type of project. So 4 thematic committee project, 1 per mission, 4 institutional dialogue project, 1 per mission. The financial rules will be available within this month. We are in the process of approving everything now, so you will have all the information, some by next week, and then the rest by the end of the month, more or less, or beginning of March.
Yeah.
Beginning of March. Horizon Europe and Interreg Euro-MED, do they have the same national contact points? No. It depends on how it's organized within each country, but more or less, no, because the national contact points, if they are contact points for many programs, it's for Interreg programs mainly, and the organization is totally different for Horizon Europe, but you can contact your national contact point and see if they have connections with the Horizon Europe colleagues, and all the national contact points contact details are available in our website. Okay, we come back on the same question, so I think we answered to that. Are you considering face-to-face webinars, events for this call? Yes. When you will have submitted a project ID, then if you are in the 31st ones, you will have the possibility to have a bilateral exchange. Otherwise, we invite you to, in any case, to follow the technical meetings, where you will have the possibility to ask questions also, and to have more information on how to build your application. The national co-financing, the automatic national co-financing is confirmed, and for all Italian partners, from what we have heard. An event in Marseille, no. Everything for this call will be online. As we have already, we organized a real event, let's say, in Lisbon in December, but it was quite not easy, and at the last time we didn't know if we would keep it or not due to the different COVID situation in each country. So it's quite hard to organize something in real for the moment. That's why we prefer to have online events in order to ensure that all participants from all the countries can have the same opportunity to participate. I think we have finished with all questions.
So, thank you,
Right on time.
Perfect timing. So, okay, now it's time to close this information session. I hope you gathered all the information you need to work on a great proposal. And okay, do not forget the technical seminars to come, and the website also, the frequently asked questions, because we saw you had a lot of questions. So that's it, unless my colleague. Okay, okay, thanks. So Curcio, please.
Yes, I hope you can hear me. Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I really would like to stress again the importance of this call for the program, for the managing authorities, for the countries, in the Mediterranean area. We are trying also to build different ways, new innovative ways of cooperation among programs, Interreg programs in particular in the Mediterranean area. So the fact that you use GEMS also in the future could facilitate the exchange of data among all of us, in particular with NextMed, in order to favor, to stress also the cooperation of the south bank of the Mediterranean Sea. But this is, I'm saying that in order you catch really the importance and the difficulties as well of this call. And the crucial point is the partnership, I think, how to build the best partnership we can in order to answer to all challenges we have to face in the future years. So I'm sorry I bother you on that point, but I would like to stress again and again that you have to study, not read, study really the optimization strategies, the terms of references, the program, the new program, in order to well understand the philosophy, the idea behind the ISO 1 governance priority we are sharing. This is not for all, and it's not a question of capacities or intelligence or skills. It's a question to be able to continue something we launched 7 years ago, and we wanted to improve in a very efficient way among also other programs, including also other programs, but not only the European Commission, the Union for the Mediterranean, the West-Med strategies, all other strategies we can have in the Adrian program and the EUSER strategies, of course. So we need to speed up a different context of a cooperation in the Mediterranean area as a whole. So I have seen some questions about the possibility to participate in this call by specific organism or person, people, as individual researcher, for instance. You have to understand that it is not possible to participate in this call as an individual researcher. It's not human. It's not realistic. So please try to study again the main documents we have provided you in order to not to lose your time, this is our job. So this is not a problem for us. We are 100% devoted to do that. So if we have to assist 100 and 100 application forms, it will be done. But not all application form will have the chance to be selected, of course. Only 8 projects at the end of the story, at the end of the day, more or less 50 partners. So this is very ambitious for us, also for you. And please take that into account as a real suggestion in order to push you to improve your capacity to understand the call. It's not forbidden. This is a bottom-up call. Everyone can participate, but there are some limits that you have to know. Also, in terms of durability, you have to ensure a 7-year project. This is in terms of human and financial resources in particular. So by my experience, it's not easy, and it could be very difficult for some of you to participate in an effective way. So this is my last word, and sorry for insisting on that. But I prefer to prevent you, to alert you, sorry, those not the right verb, to alert you on that point, and not to save you too late. Thank you very much, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Cosio, for this important clarification. So now I think that it was the final words, and well, we thank you all for your participation and your attention. And well, we hope to see you soon. So have a very good day. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.